All right, let's talk about our pay plan. So it's a very straightforward pay plan. It is what we call a modified net profit pay plan. I love how I didn't make these big, but anyway, the way this works is we go with total sales of the shop on a weekly basis, because we do everything weekly, minus, I want to say overhead, but it's really break even. Break even. And what's left, we call this bonus dollars. And there's two steps to this. This is step one. And there is a step two, which I'll show you in a second. It's really not that complex. So let's do some real numbers. The store does $80,000 in gross revenue in a week. Their break-even point for simple numbers is 40,000. We're never really that high. Our numbers are usually around 35,000. That 40,000 includes your base pay. And what remains is how much? 40,000. So far, so good. Mm-hmm. And then you get a percentage of that.
I see.
So let's just say, for simple reasons, you get 2%. That would be $800. And all our base pay, the minimum base pay we offer is $900, and we always go a lot higher than that, but generally the highest base pay is around $70,000. But if you do the math, even at $900, which is going to end up being around $47,000, give or take, it's like $46,800, I think, or whatever it is. It's probably within a few hundred. And then you do 800, which is a very realistic numbers, but that's very high because it's actually going to be more bonus dollars than what I said here. Times 52 weeks is another 41,000 or so. You add these two together. So again, you do 900 plus, this is weekly, this is also weekly. So if you do the math, plus 900 is 1,700. And this is just a sample pay plan. It's not anything crazy there. But yeah, that is how the pay plan works. That number you will see on a daily basis. You can see that number on your tech metric. Does this make sense so far?
Yes, it does.
Pretty easy?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's a weekly.
Yeah, every Friday. There's one caveat, and it's a very important caveat, and that is, because remember, this 40,000 includes everybody. This 40,000 is our break even. So what it includes is what? Our electricity bill, rent, insurance, everybody's base pay. This way, because everybody gets a base pay. It includes just everything. When we do 40 grand in sales, we just paid our bills. Mm-hmm. Anything after that is net profit. Mm-hmm. However, there's the only thing that goes up, because again, we're giving commissions. The only thing that goes up is our parts cost, because of course we're still buying more parts.
Right.
So that is what step two is. Step two is parts should be under 20%. Mm-hmm. So let me give you an example. This pay plan, what I just described, is if parts were actually at 20%. But say parts were at 25%. Oh no, we wasted 5%. Mm-hmm. That 5% came out of what it really did was it increased our break-even point. But the way I do it, I just take 5% off the top.
I got you. Yeah.
And it's really a little bit more different than that, but that's, for all intents and purposes, it's very close to that. So 10% would be 8 grand, 5% would be 4 grand. So you minus 4 grand. So you're actually going to get less 4 grand down here. We would put it at $36,000 in bonus dollars. Times 2, instead of 800, it'll become $720. Is that $720? You see, you lost $80 because we wasted 5% on parts.
Yeah.
And everybody else had to go through the same thing.
So how do you avoid that 5%? Is it just because of the cost of the goods going up, or
great question?
You order too much, or
you didn't sell for enough?
That
All of the above.
Yeah.
Which are all within your influence.
Right.
And it could also be we just wasted things, like we bought a bunch of coolant and we just dumped we spilled half of it. We bought brake clean, the guy sprayed it everywhere. You didn't shop parts around, you just ordered the most expensive thing because you were not paying attention and you stole from the team. It's not stole, but you really wasted the team's money.
Right.
So everybody's working together to increase revenue, step one, and to decrease parts cost, step two. And if you do those things, you're going to make a lot of money. The game's so simple.
Okay.
Just do as much repair for as much money while keeping your parts cost low.
Makes sense. Yeah, for
Cha-ching.
sure. For sure.
It's a pretty easy thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
good.
it does. It
So
makes
again,
sense.
We actually have a procedure in there. If you grab that, we call this our Bible, but it's sacrilegious. We started calling it our shop manual. And it's actually in here. There's a procedure called How to Make More Money. Page 17. Yeah, it's literally called How to Make More Money.
Now, is this something I would get?
Yes, a digital copy on your phone.
Oh, sweet.
That's how we roll, man. 100% transparency. Boom. So step one. Increase. Could you read that out loud for the camera?
Increase total weekly sales.
Just do that as a team, and it shows you if weekly sales are 20,000, and your overhead was on break even was 18,000. This is for like basics. You made 2,000 bonus dollars. In example B, you had 26,000 in sales minus your break even was only 14. You actually made 6,000 bonus dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Step two, decrease parts cost and supplies and expenses. Again, as I described, keep that parts cost low.
Right.
And then breaks the math down, obviously. And then the third step is the cool thing about this pay plan is that if you have a bunch of people standing around,
Mm-hmm.
what happens to your break even?
The break even goes down.
If they're just standing around not working,
Not being productive, it goes up.
it goes up.
It goes up, right? Yeah.
Well, it could go up, but if they're not being productive, the sales will go down. And now you have a high break even with low sales. Guess what? Did you make money that week?
No.
Probably not. So what we do is actually when we send people home because we're slow, it actually brings our break even down. So everybody gets a raise, including the guy that went home.
Ah.
Remember, it's a true net profit sharing plan. So they're actually treated like owners. Like I'm sending you home, but you're actually making more per hour at home at the time you were here. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. Yeah, I got you.
So that's the third step, but to be truthful, that's the least. So those steps are listed in order of importance. I don't care if you do $100,000 in weekly sales, man. You can have a higher parts cost and you can have a few people standing around. But if you don't have any sales, like sales, we have one of our lessons in our company is sales fixes everything.
Right.
Sales covers all sins.
Yeah, money solves all the issues.
So it's just
Kind of in the restaurant business, same thing.
yeah.
You don't have customers, you got everyone standing around.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have no staff, but at the end of the day, you can send everyone home and not spend any money on parts or food for your guys' case. But if you don't have sales, you still don't make money. So at the end of the day, it's really just step one. Just increase total sales.
Got you.
I mean, honestly, there's enough people in the company that are looking out for the rest of these things. And as you rise through the ranks, you're going to become more and more responsible for the parts and then sending staff home. But right out of the gate, Daniel, the only thing I tell you is just focus on total sales because that's 80% of your paycheck.
Makes
The other
sense.
20% is parts cost and everything else.
Got you.
I shouldn't even said that on camera because parts cost still can affect your paycheck a lot,
Right.
especially if people are wasting. But we don't do that. We run very lean in this company because the boys know. I mean, look how I'm teaching you. I don't think I've taught them. I've taught them a ton of times.
Right. No,
So,
it makes sense. I'm totally familiar with what you're saying just in food though.
Yeah.
You know.
So are you clear on how this works, sir?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. Let me
Pretty much.
close this out.